Hi guys, welcome back. Today I am going to show you guys my 2026 reading journal. It is obviously not complete yet, so this is just kind of like my setup. Things either carried over or didn't from 2025. And there's lots of new things in here. This is a STM journal from Amazon. I really like the quality of this one. I was not expecting the yellow strap, so I live in Washington, so this is actually kind of perfect because it's Huskies colors. So I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm a Huskies fan now. This is a really nice quality, super thick journal. It's got like the little pen pouch and the strap, and it has two like little bookmark ribbons sewn in, and then lots of workspace, so lots and lots of pages here. I might need to, well, there's enough room. Okay, so I'm still learning all of this film setup, so I'm trying to make sure that I stay in frame here. Also testing out something else with my lighting. I'm trying to figure that out. My room is generally pretty dark, but I have a desk lamp, so that tends to be really bright and add a lot of glare on the paper, and then it's kind of hard to see details. So I tried turning off my main light and just have my desk lamp on, see if that makes any difference here. I can also adjust it in the settings when I edit this, so we'll see. So learning process. This notebook is nice because all the pages are numbered. It is a B5, so it's a lot larger than my 2025 reading journal. For size comparison, this is the A5 reading journal that I used last year, and this is the B5. And then for another comparison, the daily journal that I'm using is a travel size, so that is this one. You can kind of see it's like a little bit taller than the A5, but a lot more narrow than the other one. Kind of nice for packing it up and bringing it with me places. And then you can see like this one's a lot thicker because of all the stuff that I added in the bulk, but this one has a lot more pages and kind of like, it seems like it has a sturdier binding on it. Like if I were to bulk up that A5 journal that I got on Amazon, it probably wouldn't hold up very well. We'll see how this one holds up. So yeah, going straight into it. Gonna try to keep you guys centered in frame here. I just wrote like my name, title. Fair warning, my little like meet the reader page is pretty wild. Things got a little chaotic, so you'll see it's quite different than the rest of the journal, but I really love it because it makes me laugh and smile every time I see it. So the next page is that chaotic page. This is my meet the reader page, and I'm also not really super sure if I like it with the light off. We're gonna try turning on my light and see if that is a little better, less shadow. Yeah, that's a little better. So meet the reader, I've got some fun things on here. I really like these kind of like more gothic stickers. I tend to read a lot of fantasy books that have kind of more gothic themes like that. And a picture of myself, and I love horses, used to ride horses a lot. This is the part that got a little silly. I put a crown on my head, and then the crown originally had this little bow tie underneath it, which I cut off and then put on myself as well. And then I've got a witch horse. Yeah, my friend and I were laughing really hard as saying I'm the queen of chaos and I'm living my best life. So, and she decided that this horse seemed lonely without a hat, so I put a howdy on there. Laugh often. So yeah, this page makes me laugh, and then I figured the little dragon is like a good be fearless reminder, like a dragon. So next is my reading journal cover page. Really like this spread. It's very clean, very cute, lots of cute little stickers on here and just little quotes and things. And then I love this do what makes your soul happy sticker. And then this was like scrapbook paper and a stamp set that my sister got me for Christmas. I used for that. I have little stencils that came with a reading journal that I use for this. Next up is my goals page for 2026. I stole this idea on Pinterest of like making a little envelope and then sticking a little goals thing in here. This is kind of nice because then I can put more of these in here if I end up adding more goals later on. And I can stick some other stuff in here, like leftover stickers and things. Like in here I have this little quote that I kind of like, even though it's a little sad, but sometimes just our inner feelings. And then drew on these little, using my stencil, drew these on. And then I've got my little like page divider here, trying some Dutch door inspiration that I found on Pinterest. Really liked. I like totally copied this drawing. This is not my original idea, but I kind of adapted it a little bit and then made that on there. And then upcoming releases here, and there's no particular order for this. I thought I wanted to go in chronological order, but it's kind of hard to do that when you don't know what books are going to be released and when, so I'm just kind of going with it. And then I have like one that's even not till next year that I put on there, so just kind of my reference for the books that I want that are releasing, and then check off once I get them or once they're released and available to read, like on Kindle Unlimited or something like that. This I have not completely finished. I drew like the bookshelves. I put 26 books for 2026. I usually like Google or Pinterest like spreads or book journal ideas, and then just kind of scroll until I find something that inspires me and then adapt it for things that I like this. I kind of copied like ACOTAR stuff, and then eventually I will write in the books, and once I read them I will color them in. So yeah, I really like how this turned out. I really like this little picture frame idea, and then I just stuck on some stickers for the quotes. Thought that was really cute. Next up is something I wanted to try this year. Got a couple ink smudges on here, but this is not something I'm gonna like pressure myself to complete, but I just thought it would be really interesting to see how much of the alphabet I complete throughout the year. I definitely think some of these letters are going to be pretty hard, but I mean, if I read more Zodiac Academy, there's that. And then the next Silver Cloak book, Turn Cloak, I have plans to put that there when it releases. And then you'll see in my series, I've got the Plated Prisoner series. All the books start with the letter G. So it'll be easy to like have a plan and kind of predict what letters I'll be able to fill in. And then at the end of the year, we'll see how much I've completed. And this may go on like part of my stats. We'll see how that ends up. This page, this used to be my series tracker, and then I cut out a page at the back of the book to cover it because I ended up not liking how that turned out. And I was going to run out of room for the amount of series that I am reading. And I didn't have any room to add more. With it only being March, I'm going to end up starting more series. Obviously, this is book bingo. I realize I have the one word title, wow, words are hard today, on there twice, but I don't care. That's okay. I can do it twice. We'll see. And then we'll see how much of book bingo I get done this year. That'll be fun. Did not include like the stats part of it. Figured I'll just end that or put that on like the end of the year stats when I do that. Next is book of the month. In last year's journal, I put this at the end of the journal. This middle page or washi tape is kind of coming up a little bit because I kind of put it like across the center instead of like on the side of it. So that's a little annoying, but maybe I'll glue some of that down. Got 2 books so far. Still finishing March, so we'll see which book in March becomes my favorite. This was fun. Idea that I got on a YouTube video of like tracking my monthly reading. So this is kind of what I'm doing instead of like the rating system. So in January I read 2 4-star books and 1 4.5-star book. My average rating is this, and then somewhere I think, or maybe at the end of the year, I'll do an average for the year. I kind of did that in last year's where I tallied up my average reads, and then that was kind of fun. I had a 3.5-star average last year. We'll see what happens. Really like how this turned out. I thought that was really cute. This was kind of hard, making sure everything was evenly spaced, the months, and then figuring out how many different star ratings I have, and if I wanted to do like the half-star readings or not. I find that I actually really do like having the half-star ratings because sometimes it's not for sure 3 or 4 star reads. I'm like, okay, then it'll go there. All the book covers I've printed using my HP Sprocket, which is super nice, super convenient to have this year. Next is my quotes page. I obviously have not started filling this out yet. I haven't fully decided how I want the quotes to look on here. My idea is to get some sticker boxes that in various shapes and colors, things like that, and then put the quotes in the sticker boxes and then kind of make like a collage with the sticker boxes on here. I think that would look kind of pretty. Or if I wanted to go the inexpensive route, I could just draw on like the sticker boxes and make them look like they're overlapping with the way I draw them on, and then do it that way. I don't know. Or I was thinking of just like starting to write them without boxes and borders and just do them in like different fonts and colors and things. So colors that would go with this spread, just so it looks nice and cohesive. Next is my series tracker. Really love how this turned out. Trying Dutch doors again. I really like when the doors open because it kind of looks like a book that's being opened. Funny thing though, when I first started making this, like when I was putting all the border tape on, I rotated the book to put the tape on and then ended up putting this whole spread in upside down, but it was kind of convenient because the way I set it up, it was fine to just flip it over. Covered this with some spare bullet journal paper that I had and then put the title up here instead. Really love how like the colors, the titles kind of go with the stickers and match, and like the handwriting and like placement idea I got inspiration from on Pinterest. This was something I pointed out from last year that I changed because my series tracker from last year was like this, really super simple, which is kind of like a number system for the books because it kind of looked cool the way it was like set up that way. But I decided I really want all the book titles just because I have a lot of really long series like Zodiac Academy or The Broken Kingdom, things like that, where it's kind of hard to know exactly which book is next. Some series, like the series isn't complete yet, so I have some that are just kind of left, or some that we don't actually know how many books will be in the series. So I haven't quite finished filling this out yet, but I've got lots of room to put more series in. Hopefully this will be enough. Actually might be more than enough room. We'll see. I maybe could even, because I anticipate that I will have enough room to use this for more than one full year. We'll see. It depends on how many spreads I end up making, but just with the amount of pages I have, I think I'll end up being able to use this for at least part of 2027, so I can just continue to use this series tracker so I don't have to rewrite all these books, which would be nice. So that's a lot of work. My hand's sore. Next is, I think we jump into, yeah, my monthly book spread. So there's only 2 months of the year so far. So, I mean, I've only completed 2 months. It's March. So this is January. Got this like border idea from Amy Plans Things. She had done this with stickers, which I'm sure was a lot more convenient than how I did it using scrapbook paper. So I had to measure and cut out all the little rectangles, and then what I ended up doing, instead of trying to measure and angle all these cuts perfectly, I just like put them all on a, another piece of paper in the design that I wanted, and then cut it using my like straight edge cutter, and then cut it and then pasted like the whole strip in here. So that was a lot easier to do. Took a long time and to figure out like the angle and like the order I wanted to put all these in. But yeah, I thought it turned out pretty nice. I mentioned in a couple of my other videos like doing this like lines in my journal, just because I think it looks really clean. So it turned out pretty. I like it. Oh yeah, and then kind of like what I said with the quotes page, where I could make like boxes, sticker boxes, draw them. That's what I did here. I thought it looked kind of nice. And next is February. I really love how this turned out. Love, love, love. I realized I didn't center this quite perfectly, so what I did to kind of make that more pleasing to the eye was put the washi tape here, so it kind of separates it, makes it look a little bit more centered, and then the little butterfly flying artwork kind of helps even out the spread as well. The ink did bleed a little bit on this, so that was a little disappointing. I don't know why, because normally my Tombos don't really bleed like that, so I must have just not waited long enough for it to dry, which tends to happen because I am not a very patient person. These I cut out of scrapbook paper and then outlined. Thought of putting stickers on here, but I kind of like just how like clean and stark it was because it's so busy over here. I think it looks fine how it is. And then when you flip this, I have a little like fun little pattern. It's a little bit chaotic here, and I kind of wish I would have lined, maybe done one line of black here to kind of like separate it more, but it looks okay. And then these boxes I hand drew. These are stickers, butterflies. This one was on the scrapbook paper, so it kind of went with the whole theme. And then got my book rating. So this year, the stats that I want to track at the end of the year, like the total pages, things like that at the end of the year, like what I did in 2025 with my stats, it'll be really nice and easy to tally everything up. I don't know if I'll do like a list like this year or like a graph, or I've seen people do like a couple of different like stats things where it's just like a bunch of pie charts and graphs and things like that kind of all blocked onto a page, which looks kind of cool. So there's so many ideas and things that you can do with your journal to personalize it and try out. That's why I find it so fun to create and try to take other people's ideas and adapt them, or make new ones, things like that. Let me know if you have any ideas for me on like my stats tracking, or any other spreads that I should add in for tracking. I realize I love game type things, like it's just fun to try to fill this stuff out. And then like the book bingo, and this stuff is fun to see. I will try to remember to link things below, like the journal and my Sprocket that I used to print out the book photos and the pictures, and some of the stickers that I used. Thanks again for watching. Have a good day.